Wode Maya, after insulting Ashantis, he went to Otunfo's party and nothing happened to him. Like nobody threatened or did anything to hurt Wode Maya.
One thing I don't understand is, and you see people speaking all sort of grammar when it comes to this, and you don't have self-control. And Jimmy, self-control.
It is a nipa baako reaction and then with the CCR. Know that it is in reverse. Back then, in you still had the energy to perform. You could concentrate, or you concentrated on those few ones now. Paluta, no? And you use that energy to perform.
I thought DJ Slim was on the radio.
Yeah, DJ Slim, I think, was not officially with multimedia.
And
at the moment,
them style.
If
he was very good, he would have been signed.
I'll do it.
If you bench a car bench.
Oh, Anya 3-bedroom, not in Kaswa.
Ride or drive with Shaxi. Download the Shaxi ride-hailing app and sign up as a driver or rider. Get Shaxi today from the Google Play and Apple App Store today.
Danny Beats Classic.
Showbiz Daily is back on your screens after our weekend break. And we are back to continue with what we've started right here on Sammy Flex TV. The gentlemen are here. Roland Amate is back. Man like Long John is back. And of course, in Team Dodi Solomon is also back. For Long John, I know you guys have missed him. Over the weekend, he was in Kumasi to graduate wearing his akapompo and his long suit. Long John, congratulations. Yeah, I remember you told me to go for the graduation, I think some weeks ago.
Yeah.
And finally it happened.
Yeah.
You mean the 12 years material suit?
No, I'm talking about his akapompo, academic gown. I don't talk about it. The suit, I mean, we've seen it in the studio. Just that I don't know if he used the same akapompo or his academic gown was just too long. How was the experience, though? How was the experience?
It's quite normal. It is not the first, so
okay.
I think it's just part of the process, so we have to go through it.
Okay.
I mean, after going through the hurdle of education, some of us, we can't throw away such ceremonious
occasion
events.
Yeah.
So we have to be there to make sure we crown everything.
Yeah.
Basically.
I saw some guy be on social media doing some back and forth with you. So all these book and graduates.
Yeah. With some bad English. Just a minute. All because of Shatawali. Supporting Shatawali.
But why didn't you throw party? The last time Stoneboy graduated, he did a dinner and one wine. You only did invitation, but there was no party.
But he's not Stoneboy.
I'm coming. Where you at, Kumasi?
No, I wasn't.
So those who are there with me know
what happened? But we didn't see anything. We didn't see anything.
He didn't do it to the cameras. That's what he wants to say.
Why didn't you do it to the camera? Stoneboy, come on, very press.
So I'm very present the next graduation. No.
He decided not to do it to the camera, so that there wouldn't be any pressure from anywhere. I know. I understand. Well, that was just by the way. Of course, when our brother gets higher, we have to also appreciate him and congratulate him. So, congrats once again to man like Long John. Meanwhile, in the studio, we are looking at one story that I find so interesting today. It's about Andy Dosty, who has just reported that he is no more going to be on the Hitz FM morning show, but rather he's taking a new task. I know this has also gotten many people talking, and I want to start the conversation with my people. He says he's been on the show for 10 years. I don't know if it's the Hitz FM show or maybe another show, but tell you that it came too quick. Oh. If it's been on the show for 10 years, then wow, it came too quick.
Well, it could be because I think it was Lexis Bill.
Yeah.
He took over from Lexis Bill, and if he took over from
No, not sure. I think he took over rather from KMG.
KMG.
Yeah. Oh, Lexis Bill, if you ordered that now.
Yeah,
Lexis Bill, he left that show long time ago.
Okay.
You know, that show has passed through the hands of so many people.
But KMG to me would be the shortest.
But Andy Dosty did not take over from Lexis Bill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not Lexis Bill. Well, so let me try to read the story then. We assess some of the impacts, aka the good and the bad, that we can also talk about because Andy Dosty brought some new face to the show as well. And it says Andy Dosty leaves Hitz FM's morning show for new afternoon program. The story reads, venerated Ghanaian broadcaster and disc jockey Andy Dosty is set to host a new afternoon program on Hitz FM after stepping down as host of the station's long-running morning show Daybreak Hits. His departure from the breakfast show was officially announced during an interview with Darren Avio and Kwame Dazi on Monday, 30th June 2025. And he cited personal and health reasons for his exit, explaining that the early morning schedule had taken a toll on his well-being. It's a bittersweet experience. For me, it is a bittersweet experience that I have to leave, but I am not going too far. I'm only leaving Daybreak Hits, he said. I'm leaving Daybreak Hits because it was affecting me in other ways negatively. When I say negatively, I'm not saying anything extremely bad, but it was affecting my health. Why the advert covering what I'm reading? My website, one of my adverts there. We do stories there. The advert has even covered what I'm trying to. Well, so we've gotten to know exactly what is being said there, where Andy Dosty is telling us Charlie he's leaving because of health reasons. Now let's assess some of the impacts that he brought onto the show and in the entertainment industry as a whole. And Chabo, you can start this. Yes.
Well, for me, I think he has done well.
Okay.
And he has done enough in the space as well. I mean, you can't mention entertainment host in Ghana here without mentioning
Andy Dosty. Yeah, that one you're right. You're right. Yeah.
His due. So if he wants to move it, not like he's leaving the space, but rather moving it to a space that will be convenient for him. The afternoon one, I think, is a bit flexible.
Yeah.
And then you have done the morning one, and you know how hectic it is.
It is hard.
In fact, after the show, even if you have to go through other activities and all those things, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And especially when you are also growing at a certain age.
Yes.
Yeah, this can be done by people who are in their 20s.
Or maybe
or 30s. But the moment you clock from 40 there.
Yes.
So
for me, I think it is okay because he is citing health for reasons, and we have to ask for that one there. You can't compromise.
Yes.
So it's good for him, and I think for the industry as well, because he will still be with us, and just that he will not be doing the morning one. And I'm wondering who will take over from him. Who is going to do
at the moment I see Kwame Dazi and Doreen Avio, a combined energy from Kwame Dazi and Doreen Avio. Yeah, I see them handling affairs.
Okay. So for me, I think yes, he's part of the industry. He has paid his dues. And if he's doing this kind of transition, we just wish him good luck and success in the new space that he.
Will the show lose something with his exit?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it will take time for you to build it up, especially if you are not getting somebody who has the same kind of attraction or the star to get people on board. It will go down a bit before somebody will build it for it to get to the point that it is. That one, I think there's no doubt about that. Unless they can get a replacement who is equally as big as Andy Dosty or even bigger, something like that. Unless that, I mean, obviously the show will come down a bit before it will also come up again if that person is
Build a
capable
different style, yeah.
build it or even come up with a different style. That's what will happen for sure. Yeah.
Well, I always know that show was built to come compete Sammy Flex.
Of course. Of course.
I know that show was always built to come and compete Sammy Flex then at Plus FM. And again, I went out, came again on Xylophone FM and still competed with them. Maybe Paluta FM should come for me then. I can come and bury the show. Now that the Dosty is off ground, then I can come and bury the show.
Take course. Take course. I take course.
I take course. Me, I take course more than anybody in this world. Wow. Long John, come through. What do you think and the Dosty's impact was and leaving the show? What do you have to say about that?
I think it's something we can't do anything about. Especially stating something about his health. I mean, everybody wants to live long,
of course,
and it's not about just work. But when you get to a point in life, and especially looking at the successes he has struck as a presenter and as a DJ, I believe he doesn't need to prove any much. Understand? So if he should see things going wrong within the system and he feels there's the right time to change or step down for something else, I think it's in the right direction because he's not getting any younger. Okay. And his family and friends also need him around, including his listeners and his fans.
Very well.
But then again, you were asking if or what would be the thing we can miss. Of course, his voice was unique. And I believe he had a great energy for that money issue. He brought a new style that caused a bit of a narrative. Okay. I mean, when I say a star, I mean, we saw how he was able to do with Okesewa, who came late for an interview. Something that has barely been done in our industry by any presenter. And he showcased one of his rough style on radio. So I think these are some of the picks and mix people actually miss about him. Aside that too, we all know him as a disciplinarian and someone who is always in support of industry matters. So yeah, basically some of these things are the reasons we will miss him. But then again, we wish him all the best and we know he's going to do better wherever he finds himself.
Well, Ro, you can also take over. Do you have Long John, I'll come back to you. Do you have a suggestion for who can take over to build the momentum and the Dosty has left? And I'm saying this because of your good friend, DJ Slim.
So back to my question. I want to know something. I thought DJ Slim was on the radio.
Yeah, DJ Slim, I think, was not officially with multimedia. And at the moment, at the moment, I hear
them style.
Rich them style.
If he was very good, he would have been signed.
No.
No.
London.
You said okay. Finish your statement. You said what was the reason he wasn't?
What I'm saying is
that was he
Yes. Officially.
Okay. So what? So they are not about Obey. What was it?
Okay, let me explain. Okay. Since you want to know.
With the aid of a diagram.
So DJ Slim started coming on the show as a pundit. Just as it happened on my show sometimes. Some regular pundits, when I'm going off, I put them to host it. And the station admits them like that. Not as if they work with them. So between Andy Dosty and DJ Slim, it was like that. More so when DJ Slim saw Andy Dosty as his godfather. So now, the question is DJ Slim interested in hosting the show? And for now, my position, I want to have friends believe that DJ Slim is not interested to host the show formally or officially. He would want to do the sitting, my godfather is not in, then I come and pass through, but not to officially host it. Charlie, the way radio is going, it's not everybody who would want to do radio. And especially on that show.
Every morning.
On that show, it's no joke.
Every morning.
So you see,
AM.
I like
5. Why late?
Very late.
You see,
the show starts from 7, right?
6.
The show starts from 6.
6.
You see,
depends on where you live, though.
Yeah.
If you live very close, that's fine. It's a
very beautiful narration, but I still believe. You see, there's one thing I know about this media work, and I'm a witness to it.
Yeah.
I work with a presenter. I wouldn't want to mention him, and
They know him.
nobody knows.
That we don't know the presenter he works with.
Yes.
Okay.
And listen. And there's one thing I know. If you are really needed in the job, they'll do everything to make sure they keep you. Whatever you request. Yeah. And I have a reason for saying that, because at a point, he even requested for something that he thought that would be a deal breaker. They went for months and they came back and told him, you know what, I want to do it for you. You understand? Yeah. I believe in everything, it is about, how do you call it? Negotiation. And I believe negotiation and outside. That's what I believe. Okay. Because if Celine was equally good and brought in a certain energy, you know, the money show has a type of energy. Yeah. And anytime and the Dosty is not on the show, you realize, you notice it. You notice it. But if and the Dosty wasn't on the show, and you wouldn't notice he wasn't on the show, then you know that the next person that took over could be given a job. That's what I believe. Okay. But and the Dosty initially was they say, how many? That is where multimedia will say, that way, honestly, I can't crack. Because me, that's what I believe. If indeed he was fit for the job, trust me, anything they will do to put him on that seat, they will do it.
But I would say be careful, because at this time they have not settled on someone yet. I've not said
they might even come back to
you.
See, I'm not. You say I should be careful. Yes. It's as if I'm saying they can't put it. We are talking about now. Right now, the seat is vacant. Yes. There will be probation. So on both 5 probation. And so I'm speaking based on now. And so me anka okay, so I believe they are not convinced.
When I'm done, personally, I have a conversation with Kwame Dazi. I want to talk to him. If he wants to sit on that show, I have something to tell him. So I'll call him and let him understand that. Yeah, real take over. But now that they fed them there, it means station crime, yes, you're who they should take it. Yeah.
Long John can say we. No, board the trigger point.
Yeah, man.
Well, and the Dosty, yes, he's paid his dues. I mean, he has done a lot when it comes to radio and entertainment in general. And so, with a person of his caliber, it comes with some level of rich experience and aura. Yeah. And you can't take it away from the person. It is just like Sammy Flex on radio. Even when Sammy Flex says he will not go on radio, day in, day out to date, you still have people threatening him to go back on radio. Yeah. It is there. It comes with it. And when you get to that level, the moment you excuse yourself, the absence will be felt. It's understandable. It's normal. So, and the Dosty bowing out of morning radio or daybreak hits. Well, health reasons there. You can't compromise. And need hey, hey, you want to compromise your health? Then go home. Then start asking for the price of your coffin. And your pallbearers, who will carry you. Yes. Start asking, because if you want to compromise on your health, then you are closely getting to your grave. So it is what it is. And everybody who has been part of early morning radio for even a month, you can never get used to it. You can never, even as a pundit, unless
maybe you sleep in the studio.
And no cramp.
No, if you sleep in the studio there, and
Monday to Friday.
Oh, if you sleep in the studio.
At the end of the day, you see, it is not just about you being there. But it is also a mind work.
Yeah.
You see, it is also a mind work.
What I mean is that when I was working at Plaza FM, you know that I could leave here 5 minutes to my show.
Oh yeah, sure. It was
exactly. So when you live there, it won't be as hectic as I think that the Dosty here he lives around The muse, what? Yeah, either no. This of uncle that Pokwasi Judgement.
No.
Sounds like baby not sort.
No, but my own is that the entertainment, morning entertainment.
What about the time that you were doing that?
Yes, that was the feeling.
Of course, I run a capillaries.
That was the feeling. Because imagine you move from Soto to East Legon. The traffic and all.
Not the previous night was so cool show.
I spoke with him, Dosty. Yeah. Me and him and Shatta, we were having a conversation, and he mentioned he said, sometimes I have to go for a show. And after going for the show, you still have to come back.
And you see, you also gave some pressure on the early morning entertainment show. You gave a bar or a standard that say Oka say you have to meet that standard or forget it. And that is the standard. And even when multimedia wants to put in people to sit in for Andy, sometimes they do the pairing. Okay, conform and pair, because there is now a certain standard that people have been said to meet. And say more meet here and on a bema idea shaking. At this point there, I don't know who. For me, I am happy Andy is leaving that show to the afternoon show, because if it is held there, any brad now dama homba we are there over to me and that is it. I'm just trying to scan through the space to see who would be interested in the job. Besides, whoever would now come knows that, should understand that the standard is going to drop a bit. And the person would have to lift it up. And in doing that, easy. Yes, we are saying they are not it comes with some huge pressure. But then, I believe that someone a parent, for some time, no mu baku free mo, and no bombe boa until say you somebody with that same aura, that same form of rich experience to sit in. Now, some person go.
Me. Meet me ako. Yeah.
And I demand to be there.
Almost if you back come me, no matter cover come. I'll do it.
If you bench and a car bench.
Anya 3-bedroom, not in Kaswa.
Not
yeah, let me give you some 3-bedroom at some cool place. Make them add some cool 4x4 to them. I go do.
Okay, but we are friendly, Dosty.
These are the two options if they are able to drop. The next day I'm starting job.
Patrick, there's a Dosty, my boy. I say you replace it.
But you see now too, radio has become very difficult to do, and you know why? Most of these radio platforms would want to deal with personalities,
of course,
and such a show. For someone to wake up that early, someone of a person to wake up that early to go for such a show, the person is not going only because of the platform.
No.
The person will go because of who is also sitting behind the machine.
Sure. It's true.
You understand?
It's true.
That is why it is difficult to get the replacement that the station is looking for. Because if someone wants to put out something, information, now you don't need radio to do that. Maybe your contract, the platform is so there. Also,
even sometimes.
So it will be dependent on who am I coming to have that thing with?
If you want to say, when Andy leaves the show, maybe he goes on break. Sometimes even the level of interview drop it.
That is the problem. Because I remember when I was on radio, when I go off, and they call some of these celebrities to come. They say, "Oh, Sammy Flex,
right.
No, bye. My producers will tell you.
Of course,
the guys will tell you, "Oh, bye. And I know. So if they want someone who can also, you hear his name, it is this guy, then they need to put in money. But is the radio also ready to put in the money?
Oh,
obviously no. They are not. Okay. Well, so once again, congrats to him. We will still be monitoring his afternoon show. Of course, we want the industry to be active still. So let's see how it goes. But in the meantime, Kwame Dazi and Doreen you guys should hold the fort. Let's keep the industry going and let's see how it goes. at the message the tone of the press release. Anyways, let's go to London. Obi are fan of this London. King Paluta is still performing in London, and as part of his performance, something seems to be happening that we need to look at. Whilst he's performing, there are many theories out there that a lady told him to leave the stage, a lady told him he's boring, a lady told him a year because the lady was booing his humanity. Theories there plenty. What the lady did, no one actually has seen the real details of what the lady did. But we have all seen the reaction from King Paluta. And because of that, when you go online, people are not taking it easy on him. They are giving it to King Paluta. While some people are blaming it on pride, others are blaming it on fame, others are blaming it on, emotional intelligence, blah, 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 here and there. Big shout outs to Empress Kukua, emotional intelligence woman. Now, one thing that has also come out is almost, celebrities, they only have a crowd. So see the King Paluta week. Well, let's go watch what King Paluta said, how it happened, and we'll come back to analyze it and do our own judgment in the studio.
You don't give a fuck about you. You don't give a fuck about you. Trust me. That's what's up. That's what's up. I don't think about me for the pop. Oh, wait, is that? What's
Wow, Long John, raise your head and take this out. Yeah,
Charlie, this issue, honestly, I think I was having a conversation with senior man, Chamo, early on before we came here. I really didn't get the whole scenario, but whatever happens, I think Paluta is right. Since it is a private event.
Okay. What is private event?
I mean, it was in an enclosure. It's not open to public like.
No, it is a public.
They pay show.
It was more like a birthday kind of.
No. It was a boat cruise like we did in Dubai.
Yes. But it was. But
that's
not
a
bigger place.
Yeah, that's not.
No, but they paid.
The word private is wrong here. It was not even a family.
No.
They advertised it.
Yes.
Buy ticket from America. Buy ticket from
and come enjoy the show.
So the word private does not cut.
Then the space wasn't that big.
But still, it's public. It is public. Yes.
Okay. But you can see.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah. Like that intimate session. That's the word you can use.
Yes.
So I think since it was a very public, it's a public.
Yes.
But meant for intimate, whatever you want to do.
Closer.
I think, first of all, whoever bought the ticket should know the people on board. The artists that were supposed to be on board.
Of course, they knew.
Of course. So if you should go to an event and use any curse word on an artist, and you know you are in a confine, I think Paluta was very generous enough. Like normally, as I would say, like normal, like no any consumer or intimate.
Okay,
understand? Because when you are trying to be very intimate and you as I say, I don't know if you understand intimacy.
Yeah, I get it.
It's just because some of these things, sometimes you see, one thing I don't understand is, and you see people speaking all sort of grammar when it comes to this. Hey, you don't have self-control. Hey, and Jimmy, you see, some of these things, sometimes you should be reasonable enough. If you don't want to see the person, don't go. You wouldn't go and pay for someone for a ticket and say because which you won't come as I say, baby. Say it's because nobody wants to be insulted. What do you mean by that? I've left what I'm supposed to do, whatever I do I'm supposed to do. I'm risking my life with my water. You're on the boat cruise, not even on someone's land. And you're here telling me that what? Oh, yeah, man. No. I believe whatever happened, every action deserves an equal reaction.
Okay.
And that was what happened. And you can't determine how someone should react to any sort of nonsense you put out.
Yeah.
Understand? At that moment, it was the heat of the moment.
Yes.
And if you don't respect him, I believe he has every right to also exert the same energy towards you because he was there for people who love him.
Yes.
So if you don't love him, go to the washroom or jump into the sea. It was quite simple. I think their lifeguards were on board, so they would have helped you.
Yeah.
Understand? You don't sit in there and disrespect his hustle. I mean, imagine being in your office. That's one thing people should understand. You paying for someone's service doesn't give you the warrant that will be Kasani Panini Bahat and the office.
Yeah.
If you don't like the service, you just walk out and give out a review later. You understand? But sitting in front of the person and telling whatever word you use against the person, or reacting and then fall to no. That was spontaneous reaction. And whatever he did, it was based on his feelings, his emotions. No, you don't know what about. Yes, you can't tell what moment he was in our original boat in our performance.
Yeah.
Now I started that channel. So whatever reaction you get, take up like that. And to our artists, learn from Paluta. Sometimes being nice and bougie is some of the reasons why this disrespect, go around. And I partly also blame DJ Slim. If he respected Paluta to an extent, some of these things will not happen because of the open disrespect. No, you see, you will check on you. But let me tell you, it is how sometimes our own people disrespect us in public. They also give visitors the chance to also disrespect us. I'm telling you.
Continue.
I'm being honest. You might overlook everything, but sometimes when somebody disrespects you, you imagine you being disrespected by DJ Slim, and the next day you are going to TJ and he climbs the stage, he can't take that word with you. Boat cruise. Yes, sir. So it is not, he's expecting the same composure. You understand? And I'm telling you,
okay.
But that is one of the things. What we expect from our artists, the respect we want from our artists. We are the very people in the industry. We shouldn't make them look that way. You understand? Because whatever we do to them, we are telling the fans they can equally do it to them. Because we are partly blame DJ Slim or can we be like the see.
Okay, Chemo, take over from there. I don't know what you also have to say.
That's an interesting one from Long John.
Yeah.
For me, I think it is difficult to, just blame someone for what happened. And my reason is that I wish that we will see or we will get the other side, the lady side, what the lady exactly said or how she was acting for Paluta to respond like that. All the reports that I have seen, we don't know. Nobody is telling us what the lady did.
Just theories.
Just giving different scenarios and what they think might have happened and all those things. And then here is the thing. Paluta is the man of the moment. He's the person of interest here. So whatever that he does will be on the spotlight, but not what the lady or whoever did. Whatever that happened at that moment. So it is difficult for me to judge Paluta based on that. Because yes, maybe the lady did something, but I can see that Paluta, you overreacted. Or okay, this one there, she deserves it. Give it to her like the way that she was giving it to you or whatever. Okay. But because we can't assess what the lady did. I would say that yes, at the heat of the moment, anything can happen. And this particular one, I don't think it is something so out of line that maybe we have to tell Paluta to be careful and all those things. For me, those who are talking, it's either they already feel that Paluta is arrogant, he had the pride to disrespect people or whatever. Like people will give whatever adjective that they want to give to Paluta in particular. And those who love him will say why. For me, I'm in very difficult situation because I can't do objective analysis here because I don't know what the lady did.
Okay.
For me to say okay, this is an equal measure or this is overkill. Like she did something wrong, all right, but you have done too much. But because I can't assess the lady's part, I will say that Paluta just did at the moment that he thought it was cool for him to do. And the sense is that after saying all those things, okay, I said, Mommy and Twasso. So while here, he has freed himself to continue the show because whatever the lady did may have gotten to him. And the best way for him to continue was to give it to her. And after that, the show will continue.
Yeah.
And again, after that, we heard him say, hey, Mommy and Twasso, Mommy. So we're free to continue whatever happened there. So for me, I think it was okay just based on what is available now. I can't say much apart from saying that, well, the lady did something. He reacted. And the reaction wasn't overboard. As in, there were people there who were okay with it. Some were even saying, hey, so it's okay now, let's continue. They were not like, Paluta, you can't go there or something like that. Yeah, we will get few people who will react like that even there. But looking at the atmosphere, I didn't see people showing a sign of, no, you can't do this. You see, sometimes you can say something and the audience reaction will tell you that what you are doing is not cool.
Yeah.
But this one, I didn't see it like that. It was more like, let's continue our party or something like that. So for me, I don't see it as a big deal.
Okay.
Just that it can be used against you. That's where those who will go for emotional intelligence and other stuff will come in. Now, we don't know what the lady did. What we know, what we have seen, what people are highlighting is what you, the celebrity, has done. So next time, somebody somewhere taking a decision can based on your reaction, not the lady's action or whatever. It will be based on your reaction, like the way that you spoke, or we say, oh yeah, pride will one can say and all those things. It may go against you. So sometimes when you want to react to things like this in public, you just have to think about the other side. Not just about your anger or how you want to feel yourself. But that is a part that you will take just based on what you think is right for you. For that one, I can't decide for you, but I will be prompting you to say that when you act like this, there are certain people who will not take it as normal.
Okay.
So they will use it against you in their decision making. Ebi a gig bi aba ese freaking Paluta obi beka say na o ma me didi nkofo bi atam ho yam friend. So there are some people who will be thinking like that. So when you think about those things, then you may have to restrain yourself from reacting like that. But you see, since he's a human being, some of these things may happen, and he's not the first person to act like that. Yes, I will show Obi father number six. Oh, I didn't now one. Yes, I didn't now one or Obi the church at Awala watching on no chat actually. I didn't now one. So it's yes, enemy as a man. So they are human beings. They can act. Just that we're not at the beginning. Amount for a year, and the spotlight is on only Paluta. So the amount for capture what the lady did. Maybe a conversation will change. People will say, I saw you know the amount. No, I didn't see people say, I don't know the number. And so I said, nobody is talking about that because you all saw the guy picking the money and India. And what Shatawale's one, for instance. I mean, this will be a case. I don't know, Shatta person or dealing now will be because he said the guy was trying to pull him down or whatever, and they also reacted to it. So we can use the same thing to measure what Paluta did based on whatever that lady said. But as I said earlier, it may be used against you because we didn't capture what the lady did.
Well, Roland will take over from here.
Before I go into the matter, let me supply this information. DJ Slip says that from now onwards, he's not going to recommend Paluta in any of his conversations.
For gigs.
Yes, whether for gigs or
why? Because of what happened in London.
No. Because of his past, his recent back and forth with him. He's not going to recommend.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Why did you say the fight?
No, so what? So because you have your personal issues, people can't do business with you.
Why did you say the fight?
So
He
will recommend other artists.
All recommending our own.
Yes, now you know.
Yes.
Well, let me go into the matter. For me, I also feel it is very difficult for me to be very objective on this issue because of the lack of information on at the side of the lady. You know, like Chemo cited, there are so many examples of artists being on stage in the heat of the moment, reacting to certain form of reactions from the fans or people that have been there. And another example would be the Burna Boy one. When he was performing one time and there was a lady right in front of him that the lady was just down like that, that he asked the organizers to refund the lady's money and take her out of the auditorium. Yeah. Yes, he did that. So it happens. Sometimes, some way, somehow, artists face some of these things and they would have to react one way or the other. For me, Paluta will be in the spotlight or will be in the news because he is the person of interest. And unfortunately for him, whatever the lady did, nobody seems to have a very good account of it.
Okay.
So it is either what you are saying against our perception about you. That is the unfortunate situation Paluta finds himself in now. Those who have the perception that now Paluta has grown to be arrogant, like what the likes of Slim and others are preaching, would now look at his reaction and their perception in their head and judge the situation with it. So if, say, in their mind, they have the perception of you being arrogant, not your sure reaction now, then they will say, so, if you overreacted. Because we know that sometimes artists can overreact. You understand? So
some of the reports were saying that Paluta insult a female. They never spoke about the other.
Yes. And that is it. And I make them. So it is about the perception they have about you and your reaction. I don't know movie now with the judge case. Like I said, whether you reacted in the right order or you overreacted. And sometimes that is one of the moments that it is difficult to be an artist. But me, I would tell Paluta say and his team say at this point it is better they start gearing up for such situations. You see, this is not the first time something like this is happening to Paluta. Okay. I guess that it is in reverse. What I mean by it is in reverse is that time now Paluta in audience of this nature. No perform here. A young comfort can create a chain up. Others were bomb. It is a nipa baako reaction and then with the CCR know that it is in reverse. Back then, in conform you still have the energy to perform. You could concentrate or you concentrated on those few ones now. Paluta, no? And you use that energy to perform. So in that sense, that is why I will commend him, say, at a time when his mental health was tested, at a time when his emotional intelligence was tested, even though to some people he failed at a certain point, I think he also did well by not walking off the show. Because it would have been so much unfortunate. And I say, because of probably one person, the others are also going to suffer for it. Okay. We've seen instances like that. Last time, I remember, it was several Star Towers. One Stoneboy was performing, and one guy, out of overexcitement, climbed on stage and started walking like
yeah. I remember that. I remember that.
There are so many situations. Of course, now.
Yeah.
Auto
train mic not correct.
Automatic connection.
Okay.
In the crowd, that. And I walking off stage.
Oh yeah, that video.
There's been so many instances whereby people piss off artists and they leave stage. It happens. And at the end of the day, sometimes it will be very unfortunate if you are the event organizer.
Okay.
Say one person's selfishness has angered something that others have paid for. Now, for the whole organizer, now take blame from it, because I know Paluta's reaction as an event organizer. Sometimes it is difficult and unfortunate because we think Paluta is in the news, but on grounds sometimes event organizers also suffer. And per information I mean about this particular event, looks like the parties who organized this particular event, this is their first time of doing an event of that nature. All the producers are freshers. All the producers are newbies in terms of event organization.
Okay.
Same way now to them. And it has the tendency of affecting them even in their subsequent event. We know how London is. Nipa bako waka, oh, we momo event. Okwa basa.
Nagu.
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, King Paluta, Oh my goodness! But it's bound to happen. As a performer, I was saying earlier in my conversation with Judge Desert that if you are experienced, you know how to deal with what he went through.
Yeah.
Maybe this is first time seeing something like this. Because as a performer, the people you are performing to, their energy means a lot to you. But there are many performers who have seen it with negative energy. Let me ignore him and concentrate on who is giving me. Maybe this will give him the next experience that, okay, next time, if I go somewhere and someone is behaving like that, I don't have to concentrate on a person. Let me go to who is giving me energy. Let's run the shit and we are good. So very unfortunate that it is happening to our boy Paluta like that. But there are lessons. That's why we say experience is the best teacher. I know you'd have more experience from this, and moving forward, he will know exactly what to do next. Now, let's do this to wrap up. It's about Wode Maya and the conversations and controversies around him and certain Ashantis. Wode Maya, they are dealing with him. What is really the background? Let me go to Chemo. I think Chemo can help us to understand this some more, because the Ashantis here. Chemo, what is really going down with Wode Maya and some Ashantis? I'm not saying Ashantis, some Ashantis.
I
Yes.
think it started with this particular one. What sparked what is happening now is through Okatechie Efrifa. He made some comment after Wode Maya attending the banquet that Utufo held for the
Swaziland King.
King Swati and his people. And after the event, I think there were videos going around, and one of them, the MC of the night, were giving some praises to Wode Maya. Yes. And more or less introducing Wode Maya to Utufo and the dignitaries around. Yes.
Yeah.
And after that, then we saw Okatechie Efrifa on his show, for the record, saying that Wode Maya, after insulting Ashantis, he went to Utumfo's party and nothing happened to him. Like nobody threatened or did anything to hurt Wode Maya. So next time he should know how to talk and all those, and like you know Okatechie and Okatechie's strategy. He said that this is a passing by comment. In fact, he's not going to address it. He's just saying the fact that when people will insult Ashantis in general, when you want to respond to them, then they will use the tribalism card to silence you, according to Okatechie Efrifa. Because if you want to respond to such people, they will say, oh, we are tribalistic, then you quell. You don't want to talk because they will label you as such. But for him, he will not take that. So after that comment, after that video coming from Okatechie Efrifa, then Wode Maya, I think, was surprised because he at the point didn't remember or he didn't know what he has done.
Okay.
In the case of he has insulted Ashantis.
Okay.
And then people started referring to some statement that he made in a video that he was having a conversation with others and some people. So in that video, Wode Maya said that based on history, where I don't know where he got that particular history, but Wode Maya said that the transatlantic slave trade, when it happened, people who were transported or who were captured and moved to Caribbeans, most of them were from the north, and they were
Contrary to what?
and they were captured by the Ashantis. The argument or the conversation in that video was that the Ashanti culture and then those are the Caribbeans, they have similarities. Like you can see certain pronouncements, certain words that it is so similar to Ashantis. They pronounce the words the same.
Okay.
They are some of their culture. There are similarities.
Okay.
So one guy, the person who was doing the video, the person who was recording, was thinking, say most of the Ashantis were moved to that place, and what the Maya was no.
Okay.
It was the Northerners because Ashantis were capturing the Northerners and then selling them to the Europeans for them to take them there.
Okay.
So the way that he said it, I think people were like, now you are disrespecting Ashantis because they think Ashantis didn't do that. And if you say it like that, you make people hate Ashantis for no reason.
Okay.
Because for them, that is not accurate historic facts.
Okay.
Yes. And that is what some people are considering as an insult to the Ashantis. And based on that, yes, we got a lot of people doing videos about it. But it is popping up because Okatachi Fifa also commented about it. And you know Okatachi Fifa, he won't give details, but he will still speak. Because in his video I've watched, he never said what Wode Maya said to insult Ashantis.
Okay.
All that he said, he said, once or no, or did he Ashanti for them, or call two for Hobian. But he didn't say that Wode Maya said A, B, C, D to insult Ashanti. He didn't say it. But people have taken it like that.
Okay.
And then Wode Maya also reacted based on what Okatachi said. And then went like, he has promoted Ashanti culture more than any Ashanti blogger or any blogger that you can think of. And then he added CSM to it. And I think it didn't go well with some people.
So to them, they think he's insulting them.
Yes.
Those who are of that
view, yes.
Okay.
So there was a back and forth more. Then for some reason, Wode Maya saw for the records message handle saying that people should
donate stars.
help them by giving them stars so that they can do more videos. That thing. Yes. And then Wode Maya replied or also commented on that thing, saying that for the records, Okatachi Fifa and his team should contact him so that he will teach them how to make money instead of soliciting for stars to do their videos. So that's where we are now. So they are trending because some people feel that what he said, that I think he was historically inaccurate. But this is not an insult. It's somebody sharing the information that he has. So if it is wrong, it is wrong. You can say that, hey, what you said is wrong, but I don't see it as an insult. But some people see it as such. And based on that, they reacted to whatever happened on that day, that he was getting praises for doing a good job for Ghana, Ashantis, and even the world at large.
I see. Well, but in all, what is your remark? You have given us the background.
For me, I really don't even know what to say. It's needless reaction. I would say that the comment coming from Okatachi Fifa, there was no need for that. Okatachi Fifa at that point could have educated Wode Maya based on history or whatever you think is the right thing to say. But he didn't do that. He just went with the idea that he insulted Ashantis. And I don't see this as an insult. So for me, Okatakyere FIFA brought this thing. And I don't think there's a need for this. And there's no basis for you to say that Wode Maya has insulted Ashantis. I would disagree with anybody who will go that direction. So I don't really know where to even place it, but just that everything sparked because of Okatakyere FIFA, and I think it is wrong. We shouldn't be going that direction. There's no need for that. And the danger in some of these things is that when it comes to tribalism or religion, people don't really use their logical reasoning. It is about my tribe. It is about my religion. Logic will be at that point.
Yeah, sometimes.
No matter what, they will defend their religion or they will defend
whether
their
good
tribe.
or bad.
Yes, whether good or bad, whether knowing the details or not. There are some people who don't know the background that I'm giving.
Okay.
But they are either supporting Wode Maya or they are insulting Wode Maya without even knowing what is in it. Yes. Okay. And for me, I think we should discourage the people from going that direction. It will not help anybody.
Well, we are closing. Well, what do you also make of the happenings?
Well, it's an interesting one for me. I think now I find it very, very interesting with Wode Maya's reaction towards the whole conversation. You see, like Shemo said, Okatakyere FIFA, given the opportunity, could have just used that or seized that to educate Wode Maya or maybe give a counter argument to whatever information he gave.
Okay.
It's just like last time, Stonewall called baby or say watch it free Ghana now. Now maybe a free buy a good to say hey Stonewall give your matter. Of course, it wouldn't make sense. You understand? You just if you want to counter, there is no need because information information and facts are facts. They are there. These things are public knowledge. You can just pick one, bring it out and defend it. You also, and you see, even though we on a surface level we can say maybe Wode Maya is wrong with his information, you also don't know where he also got his information from. So the best thing you can do is to give your side of what you think is right and defend it and leave it to the people to judge. Oh, this person said this. I think he's misinforming the public and these are my reasons. Yeah, Paul. But he decided not to be reasonable with the whole conversation. And not being reasonable with it means that you want to set him up for people to go at him. Because see, no matter what, whoever is in this space, the moment the person gains some level of prominence, there are people who wouldn't like them, who would not like them. And those people, it is just confirmation and optimism bias. The moment you give a certain information about somebody that they don't like, whether it is true or not, whether they know the background information or not, no, they won't even bother. They will use that information and go at them. That is why Wode Maya at this point too will not be so reasonable also in his corner with certain information and how he would want to react to this conversation, because he knows that the people that are coming at him, nobody is coming with some level of hot reasoning. That's why he will also come and say, no Ashanti has also promoted the Ashanti culture more than him. And I saw one guy coming to challenge him that he should produce just two videos. Go and type with the Maya. You see plenty of videos. He has promoted Ashanti culture. What can you do about it? And this is somebody with huge numbers. Almost more than anybody in Ghana. So what are you going to talk about? So what are you going I go to for museum. What are you going to see 2-4 statue, whatever. No, you see, at that point, we are getting out of reasoning. We are getting out of logic. In fact, we are just distorting it to suit whatever agenda we want to drive. And that is one interesting thing I find about Wode Maya, like right now, because I said, CCIO was serious and buga play beer. I don't know where he got it from time now. Is it Barbados or so? On Nam Street, so Mobo Shatawale Numa, over Posti Amount for. From that time, I said, Sisi, our year rootless be. Because looks like now he has become some ruthless. Who said that? Well, the man was very reserved. First, he was very, yes. Sometimes when you go under his comment, you see some people giving it to him left, right, center. But hardly would you see him come to react that way. But now, even aside posting or aside typing, he has become very, very vocal, even in his response. And that is what I find interesting. I doubt if Okatachi Afrifa will let this particular conversation die, especially looking at the reaction coming from Wode Maya. And maybe if Wode Maya he doesn't have time, Kokumenu is there.
Wow, Long John, close the show for us. Our time is up.
We are closing in the name of God the Father.
Amen.
Back to the story. See, people get money, make some discussions can make very, very important to them. I mean, paying attention to the whole discussion. Then I asked myself, even Okatachi Afrifa realized it was of no importance. So why are we prioritizing foolishness? That's me, my whole Twitter for social media for no more Kasan Kwasatemo. You weren't happy. First of all, the narration you put out didn't make you happy. It cast a bad name on your tradition or your ethnic group. Why would you then want to bring it back into a conversation? Even me, that is not a tribesman in that clan, I still feel bad when they are saying it because it's not something pleasant to hear. It's not a nice story.
Emancipation.
Then you guys are rather bringing it back. I mean, what's the head entail? What does it add to yourself, the country, and the ethnic group? So about time this is all I have to say. Charlie, they should go past this conversation. There are better things. I see it as two rich people trying to fight. Okatachi is building his platform. So of course, any kind of comment to make people enter him, you could do one. But Wode Maya, you're talking about Wode Maya, they funny me. You want to see someone's character, you have to give him money. Right now, money enter. What are you talking about? You tell me.
Right now,
money enter.
So you think Wode Maya is getting money now?
I'm not saying as in now. I mean, from the you see now, he's well acknowledged anywhere in the world. Understand? So I believe.
You think his reaction is because?
Yeah.
Oh no.
That is the truth. Because we all know Wode Maya not today. Wode has been. You barely hear him enter.
No, you haven't been closer to him.
No. In person, we met him at what? No. When they talk to mind, not to win.
Exactly.
But not
they give fuck like that too.
But the way it happens now.
Every time they talk to this guy, they give fuck. Just that he is measured.
Yes.
So he decides who he fucks up.
Who he can.
So I'm sure those things, I'm not know. So he decided, let me fuck.
But the truth of the matter is, this is not a conversation we should even be having. If you weren't happy with the narration of Wode Maya, it's dead and gone. Why raise it up? Then if you do that, then you are making the story true because you are making people who didn't hear it now hear it today. Understand? Because in the end, nobody has given a vivid story about whatever he said to make us differentiate the lies from the truth. So in the end, it's still the lies that is still being paraded. So I don't see any use in it. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't grow anybody's platform. It only causes someone to be ridiculed and insulted, which we shouldn't push. That's what I believe.
Well, indeed, tribalism and all those ethnic conversations, they are nya. That one is true.
Like
airtime. Just that sometimes when you also sit down for people to impose some of these things on you,
and
they become a reality.
Sure.
And I'm sure that is why Wode Maya is angry. Like, what the heck? What is the meaning of this?
How would you say I've insulted people when I
because I was getting some small fans in the pay you can't mess it up. I won't allow you. He will also tell you his mind. And when they give Gaba like that, you guys for no see him like that. No, don't see him like that. Maybe now self like that's who he is.
Okay.
Just that he's measured. It's like me, someone saying Sammy Flex there on Pekasa. Yes, because Mayani.
Yeah.
Emma Mayani. Mayani.
Who talking?
I'm Smith Mayani. And I'm Smith Mayani. Shaking. What does it? Press down. The American woman maybe so. And then your mother will call you. Hey, Jayo. Yeah, so Wode Maya is working this place. All the American guys over here, you will collect. That is just by the way. This has been Showbiz Daily to start a week with my man, Dosty Solomon, aka Chamo, man like Long John, and Roland Amate for coming through as well, and to the producers, still plenty gosh. There's us. Oh my goodness. We meet again tomorrow. Subscribe to us. But let's read your comments. We'll be having some more conversation here on Sammy Flex TV. We're out. Bye.
Everybody check now. Check it. Fact check it. Fact check it. Check it. The beat is real. Don't wait, make it kill ya. Get your green select glucometer and check it. Sugar level, check it, check it. Fact check it, check it. Fact check it, fact check it, check it, check it. Green select glucometer, check it. Fact check it, check it, check it. Put sugar level, fact check it. Fact check it, check it, check it. Fact check it, fact check it, check it, check it. Green select glucometer. Everybody check now. This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.